moment, because of all the crap that's going on in the media, I don't know whether it's the same in Ireland, but we're seeing full-scale Armageddon in the aviation, travel, tourism, commercial property sector, and non-food retail. And as a result, it's really easy to get into a place of fear, get into a place of anxiety. There's been I don't think Ireland was as bad as us, because I think we were one of the worst countries in the world for people dying, sadly, with COVID-19. There are a lot of people that have someone close to them that have been badly affected by it. There is a lot of sadness out there at the moment. And actually, as the leader of the team, we've got to over-communicate more to help people realize this business is fine. We're not going anywhere. We're in a strong position. Every single month, don't I, Ashley? I tell people exactly how much cash is in the bank and how long it's going to last. All the team have got access to and can view the profit and loss of our business. Literally. It is that transparent. That might not suit everyone, but it is that transparent. There is a lot of trust there, and it's a two-way thing. So this psychological safety, as we've talked about, it's about allowing people the safety to make mistakes, allowing people to push outside of their comfort zone, allowing them to safely express their thoughts and feelings. And right now, when we're working with a hybrid team, you need that psychological safety for people to take the initiative and work unsupervised. You need, at the moment, considering how much is rapidly changing around us, you need people to be able to respond and adapt. You need them to speak up about emerging problems, such as, I think we've got a client that might churn. You know, the worst thing that can happen is they don't tell you about this stuff. And given how much things are changing, there's never been a more important time to go, hang on, why don't we do it this way? You know, I think with yourself, Niamh, and your team, how many of your team said, well, if we're going to be smaller, why don't we do it this way? Does that happen, Niamh?
Yeah, a little bit. I got some suggestions from people, not the people I expected, funnily enough. That's been key as well. You know, people show up very differently in a crisis. And I was pleasantly surprised by some people and very disappointed by others.
and yeah, let's be honest, most of us haven't experienced a really turbulent time for a long, long time. You know, 2009, 2010 was when we were in recession in the UK, and I know the Celtic Tiger got absolutely mauled to death around that time. We've got to remember that most of us have not experienced a real crisis. And actually, people do, when we're in that grip of fear, people do kind of go experience things very, very differently. I think, Ashley, you saw the calm head of Heather for once, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than the airhead that's got 1,000 ideas, you know, people experience things very differently. So how do you establish it? Because we're all kind of going, we need this. Well, the first thing is it comes back to you. So how do you react when something goes wrong? You know, how do you react when something goes wrong? If you go straight out and go into anger, denial, attack, how likely do you think that people are going to tell you when something goes wrong? And we need to create an environment where people are able to put their hand up and go, something has gone wrong. The next thing is, so when I used to work long time ago with Tesco's, we had a leadership program that we're rolling out, which was called Ask Rather Than Tell. But very often in an accountancy firm, and I imagine in a law firm, we do tell rather than ask, don't we? This is how I need you to do it. Will you get on and do it? It might sound like a request, but it is an order. And as a result, we often get very needy members of staff because they know that Andrew's going to tell us how to do it. I just go to Andrew and go, Andrew, I'm struggling a bit. Can you help me out with this? And you go, yeah, of course. You go this, this, and this. And we've done tell rather than ask. So we've just trained that member of staff that when it's really difficult, I go back to Andrew and he'll tell me the answer. I don't need to think about it. Now that was fine when we were in the office. Well, maybe not fine, but it was finer. Actually, we need, when they come to us and go, Andrew, I can't do this. We want to go, well, if you were me, what would you think I'd say? What do you think the first thing would be that I would suggest you do? You know, you can dress it up as a coaching approach. That's what it is. But actually, if you move into a default of ask rather than tell, Now, there are always going to be times where you have to tell, such as, there's a fire behind you, Ashley. If you don't get out of the shed now with your precious guitars, you'll lose them. We don't have those many, though we don't have that often. And actually, for 90% of the stuff that we're dealing with, we should be going as a default. Right, okay, so it's gone wrong. Let's talk about what's happened. In your view, what do you think's gone wrong? The next thing is, are you really present with your staff? You know, are you sitting there and they can clearly see that you have their full attention? Or can they see you're looking at the keyboard or on your iPad or on your phone or getting distracted? Are you giving them their real attention? You know, because if you're not giving them their real attention, you're saying to them they're not worthy. And how accessible do you make yourself to your staff? You know, do you do things, and it's something that I need to work out how to do, is that we will have some virtual lunch sessions on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where my Google Meet will be on. I'll be sitting there and anybody can come and join me and have a chin wag. I haven't worked out how to do that in practice yet, Ashley, it's coming. But no, you know, are you making yourself accessible? Are there the sort of drop-in things? You know, if you're in the office, you say, my door's always open, come in if it's open. How do we do that in a virtual environment? You know, one of our members does that very well. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every lunchtime, she's on the line. People are welcome to join her. These are really simple ways to make yourself more accessible. Next thing is, how quick are you to blame when something does go wrong? Oh, I can't believe that the joining instructions didn't go out. Didn't we check? You know, or did you ask the question? The joining instructions didn't go out. What happened? Did we not, you know, where did we fall? Where did it fall through the cracks? Rather than go, Lisa, right now we need a conversation. You know, the next thing is, when somebody does give you a bit of feedback, do you say thank you for it? Most of us are really bad about getting feedback. Really bad about getting feedback. There's a reason we run our own business and we don't live in corporate lives. It's often because we're bad at getting feedback. It is true, isn't it? We're bad at getting feedback. And Ashley will know that I'm really bad at getting feedback, aren't I?
That's how it's delivered, Heather.
Yes, I know. He sees me go, be brave. Literally, that is my first reaction. And I say thank you. And you say thank you first. And you know, and I'll often tell people, look, I'm struggling at the moment. I really thank you for it. If my response is incorrect, please don't, whatever. I, you know, sometimes try and get over the fact that it's difficult feedback to take. But do your team know if you're having a bad day, apart from the fact you're yelling at them down the phone? You know, are you that vulnerable with your team? Do they know what's going on in your life? Do they know how you're feeling? Do they know what's in your mind? You know, a real thing about establishing psychological safety is letting them know what's going on with you. And actually, how often do you give helpful feedback? And are you open and honest? Is there a culture where a team member can turn around and say, this isn't working?